welcome back to Soulful Abundance with Chris. I am here today with you guys inside of the Facebook group. We will definitely be sharing this episode over at the podcast as well and the YouTube channel. So be sure to click in the comments below so that you can join us either in the podcast side or even on the YouTube side where you can get all of the previous trainings. All right, so we're going to talk about obstacles today, right? It's February, and a lot of times I hear many of my clients say that, they just want to be in the flow state, right? They just want to feel like things are easy. And look, here's the truth. Building a business is not always going to feel easy. There are definitely going to be seasons where sometimes it feels easier than others, but building a business is going to require effort. And so what I really want to talk about today are the things to look out for and how we can actually take the obstacles that we bump up against and leverage them so that they can actually fast track our success. So I want to share a little story with you because one of the things that I used to love to do as a kid was go whitewater rafting. I remember going with my soccer team and it was so much fun. And as I was thinking this morning about what it was that I wanted to really share about this, we think about the river, right? We think about water and we think about the rapids, right? Where all of these big rocks. And while definitely going whitewater rafting when I was a kid was a lot of fun, when I think about whitewater, typically we think, boulders, we think rocks, we think rushing water, right? And so I want you to think about your business as being the river. Our businesses need actually a riverbank, right? Our business is the river. Our business, we do want to be in flow, right? And the strategy that we use to help us get down the river is actually going to be our riverbank, right? We need the riverbank. We need structure. We need strategy. We need ways to get down the river, right? And without a riverbank, nothing is actually going to create direction. So without strategy, we actually don't have direction. So it's really important that we do have structure and we do have strategy. And we also get to be in a very intuitive and flow state too. So when we think about being in the flow, we typically think that things are calm or things are easy, right? But that's not necessarily true. And here's why. If we think about going down a river, there are in the river going to be obstacles, right? Just like when we're building our business, there are going to be rocks, there are going to be boulders, right? And those boulders are obstacles that are in our way as we're floating downstream. Now, here's what I want to share, and that is obstacles, those boulders, don't always mean that we have to come to a stop. I want you to think about the river, and if you've ever looked at a river and you've seen the rapids, right, the white water, it's crashing against the boulder, but it goes around the boulder. It's like water, right? The boulder or the rocks don't actually stop progress. As a matter of fact, what I want to share with you is that I think that those boulders actually help us create success and help us get down the river a lot quicker. And here's why. Think about it. If the water was just still, and whenever I have looked at a river or any type of body of water, when it's really still, there's actually no current, right? But whenever we are going down the river quickly, whenever there are a lot of obstacles in there, it's always rapids, right? Think about rapidly, quickly. These obstacles are actually propelling you in a direction, right? These obstacles, these big boulders are actually having us go right or have the water go left or, having it go quicker, right? But when there are no obstacles in the way, things are very, very calm. Things are very, very smooth, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're working or they're actually helping us get anywhere faster. So let me say, I am all for calm and I am all for smooth, right? There are going to be seasons, just like in a river, there are going to be times where it feels very chaotic, right? Just like when you're whitewater rafting, you have no idea where you're going to land, right? You're just kind of bumping up against these rocks, and sometimes you get thrown out. But what do they tell you when you get thrown out of the boat? To lay on your back and float with it. Now, with your feet forward, right? I remember I had to have my sneakers on and my feet were forward. So if I bumped into a rock, of course, I wouldn't hit my head, right? So we are floating down the river, but we're not fighting it. Right. And this is where I see so many people getting stuck. And this is where you can actually use your obstacles for your success. As we build and grow our business, we're always going to be up against obstacles. Things are going to go sideways. Not everything is going to work exactly the way that we want. There are going to be strategies that worked at one time and then they don't work. There's going to be clients that, say one thing and maybe they default on their payment. There's going to be things that happen. It is normal part of life and it's a normal part of building our business. But if we let those obstacles mean that somehow we're doing something wrong, or if we let those obstacles mean that our business is broken, instead of actually seeing it as a way to actually fast track our success, then we're actually impeding our success. Because obstacles are the way to actually see which direction do we want to go next. What if the boulders were there for a reason? What if those obstacles were saying, hold on, I want you to float around to the right, or I want you to float around to the left, or even sometimes it maybe even wants you to eddy out. What do I mean by that? Well, if you look at a river and you look at a lot of rapids, what you'll see is that behind the rocks on one side or the other, there's a pool of water where the water really doesn't go anywhere. It just kind of sits and it's still. So one of the things that I love to think about when I'm building and growing my business is that if it ever feels too much, right? Like it feels like a really, really scary ride. Lots are happening. We're in the obstacles. And I learned this actually from kayakers. What kayakers will do is that they will do something called eddying out, which means that they paddle by this rock where it's still so that they can get their vision and see where else do they want to go that's downstream, right? So we know we want to go downstream, right? It's just that sometimes we're actually fighting against it and we're thinking that an obstacle shouldn't be there. And we start resisting against the obstacle. And we're like, but this shouldn't be this way, right? This should have worked. I wanted it to. I wanted my clients to come from this thing. I wanted success to come in this way and I wanted it on my time, right? And yet it's not always going to happen that way. So what we want to do is eddy out, get our bearings again, right? And then go downstream when we've got a better understanding or a better view of what to try next. So what that means is these obstacles allow us to leverage these obstacles as opportunities. So I want you to think about something that you may have tried that didn't work the way that you thought it did. That doesn't mean that anything's broken. It doesn't mean that there's anything going wrong. As a matter of fact, it might mean that it wants you to take a look at something and see, how could I leverage this to my benefit? Maybe something didn't work in the way that you wanted it to work because the timeline was off. Maybe it gave you an opportunity to have a conversation with somebody that was going to make your success happen a lot quicker. Maybe it is going to give you an opportunity to take a look at things from a different perspective so that you can try something different next time. So this is where we get to again say, okay, here's the obstacle. How can I leverage this for my success? How can I create a win around this? What is something that I need to know or learn? What is the gift in this? And how can I leverage that gift as an opportunity instead of seeing it as something that is actually going to stop my success? Because the only thing that can happen if we fight against it is we actually stop the success completely. The obstacles cannot stop your success. It just won't happen. The only thing that can stop your success is you. The only thing that can stop your success is you stopping, getting out of the boat, or blocking it and fighting and trying to swim back up the river. And that is a lot of what tends to happen when things don't go our way, right? We bump up against something and we start fighting against what it is that we're bumping against. Instead, what I want you to do is just say, okay, this is really cool. Which way do I want to go next? Do I want to go right? Do I want to go left? Where's the opportunity for growth here? Where is the lesson here? Where can I actually leverage this for the next step so that I can go in another direction? But again, what we don't do is fight against the rapids. What we don't do is actually try to swim upstream. So I hope this was helpful for you. This is one of the big things that, as I've learned to build and grow my business, has made a huge impact. Why? Because this allows me to see that everything is working for me, even if it's not working out in the exact way that I think it should. And it allows you and me to build emotional resilience. And if you're an entrepreneur and you are in this world trying to share your gifts and build an amazing business and make the world a better place, we need to have emotional resilience, right? Because being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart. They're going to be, again, seasons, just like on the river, where it feels really calm and we're just kind of floating down the river, and that's amazing. There's going to be other seasons where the water gets quicker and we are going to bump up against things in our way. But again, we don't let it stop us. We either turn around and float on our back, or we eddy out and we're like, okay, where's the opportunity for success here and how can I leverage it? All right, my friends, this is Soulful Abundance with Chris. I am so excited that you guys were here. Do me a favor. If you are watching this in Facebook, let me know that you're watching it. Give me a hashtag live. If you're here live, give me a hashtag replay. If you are watching the replay, if you are watching this on YouTube, please click like and subscribe so that you can be notified whenever we go live. And if you are listening to this on the podcast, be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast. And if you are not yet inside of my Facebook group where I do these lives every single week, Mondays at 4 o'clock for free, come on, join me over at Holistic Business Success. I would love to have you there. All right, my friends, let me know, put in the comments below, how might this impact the way that you see your business? How might you use this in a way to actually leverage opportunity so that you can continue to create success in your business, so that you can still flow down the river and get to where it is that you want to go? And I would love to hear. All right, my friends, have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.